What's up, Bomb Squad? This is your girl Lisa, and this is Real Talk. It's on a Sunday. Ain't gonna lie, I just forgot yesterday. I ain't gonna lie to you, I just forgot. But y'all know what time it is. We about to have some real talk, and today's real talk will be about none other than Aura Kelly. It seems like they had R. Kelly on trial forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like he was on trial for a very long time. I was
before COVID.
that shit was before. Not just COVID, not just COVID, but everything. Not just COVID, but everything. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up in a second. Let me turn this down. Hey, Bo Beauty. Hey, a Bew Booty, not Bew Booty, Bew Beauty. Y'all know what? Hey, y'all. See, that's why I say hey, y'all. But yeah, so let me see how long, because I could have sworn I've been on trial for a hot minute. Let me see. Oh, that's what it said. R. Kelly sues prison for cruel and inhumane and unusual punishment after being put on suicide watch. All right, let's see. When did this trial start? All right, R older than me a little bit.
He's like what, 55?
Yeah, he was born in June. I mean January. January. I said he's older than me by a little bit.
For real?
Yeah. When did I'm trying to figure out because it's been a long time. The timeline of allegations. Let me see what that is. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, in 2017, and then again in 2019. So what is that? 5 years? Oh no, I knew it was old. It's 2008. The very first charges came against him in 2008. He was acquitted in 2008 of child pornography. I know they've been trying to get him for a good hot minute. All right, so I like to be factual when I talk about people. So let's see. I had to pull everything up. That's all I wanted to do was pull everything up. All right, so R. Kelly got 30 years in the federal penitentiary. Now, anybody know about the Fed? It's not like um just regular private prisons. You can get a sentence of 6 to 25 years and just serve the 6 and maybe serve 3 or 4 years with good behavior, yada yada yada. Fed does not work like that. You serve the majority of your time in federal prison. So he's not gonna get out in 6 years of a 30-year sentence. Yeah. I'm glad he went to jail. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know. I'm glad he went to jail. I always thought, yeah, yeah, it was okay. I am not a prude. I am all about sexual freedom and expressing your sexuality. Um, I have no problem with nasty songs. I really don't. But every song, with the exception of his overtly commercial songs, like I Believe I Can Fly and things he did specifically for things, every song R. Kelly ever did was about sex. And it wasn't romantic sex. He wasn't, it wasn't, oh, I don't know how to explain it.
It wasn't like
It wasn't, he wasn't glorifying or I don't want to say glorifying because that's not a good word either. But I'm having a hard time finding the word. But all of his songs were very What's the word I'm looking for, babe?
Sexual.
Yes, they were sexual. All the Cardi B songs, all the Megan Thee Stallion song, all of the rapper songs be overtly sexual. The sexual is not the issue. It was like he was singing love songs. He wasn't singing love songs. He was singing sex songs.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It was a romantic song.
No, it wasn't romantic. And I mean, to the people that liked him, I guess that was something you could have sex off of. But every song, you remind me, and women were objectified, and women were never the. It's hard for me. It was my personal opinion, and it's hard for me to state it because a lot of it was just a feeling I got when I listened to the songs. I didn't really listen to R. Kelly's songs like that. Everybody wanted to sing "I Believe I Can Fly." Everybody stepped in the name of love, but other than that, I didn't really listen to his music because I didn't care for it. It just gave me creepy uncle vibes. It gave me don't let all in there with them kid vibes. It gave me standing at the bus stop with a trench coat and nothing on vibes. You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally. I've never liked R. Kelly's music like that. Could he sing? Yes. Is he an amazing artist? 100%. He can sing. He's classically trained. He is. He has can do instruments. He can write. Never liked R. Kelly. That's me personally. That has nothing to do with his musicality and his talent. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the fact this man was sentenced to 30 years for for sex trafficking, racketeering, and other charges. We're talking about the fact that he had an open secret, that he had an unsecret secret. Everybody knew. But because he was R. Kelly, because he was R. Kelly, it was silently allowed. Parents were still taking their little girls to him. And for what I understand, I again wasn't there, little boys too. Wasn't just little girls. They were still taking their kids to this man after the allegations, after everybody was whispering, after Aaliyah. Aaliyah was a child, y'all. Y'all keep looking at Aaliyah like she was an adult. Aaliyah was a child. She was a baby when she died. And by that time, she had been married and divorced from R. Kelly when she was under the age of what, 14? How was let me see. Because I don't like, I don't want to lie on him. He already got enough going on. Um, but yeah. So we already knew that. But everybody didn't pay it any attention. Yes. She was 15 when they signed him. I blame everybody. Now, don't get it twisted. I don't just blame R. Kelly because R. Kelly had people helping him. R. Kelly had mothers and cousins and aunties and daddies and friends and employees helping him. I don't just blame R. Kelly, but R. Kelly is the face of this operation. So right now he's going to get the brunt of this blame because nobody wants to pull the parents and say, well, why did you take your kids to this man after the allegations came out? Or nobody wants to pull the employees up. Well, what did you have to do about this? What did you see? What did you say? They're always quick to see something, say something. But so we're going to just talk about R. Kelly right now. But make no mistake about it, R. Kelly had a village of people helping him mess with these little girls. He wasn't by himself. He wasn't doing it on his own. And it's just it is indicative of the world that we live in. How if you got a little fame, if you got a little fortune, if you got a little celebrity, if you got a little notoriety, then they will allow you to do certain things. And it's not just men, it's women as well. There is a case of I think she's 32, 32, 28, within them ages. She's in Australia. And she is accused, and she's a YouTuber, a TikToker. She's something, nowadays you can be famous for social media. So she doesn't have to have any talent. So I think she's some kind of YouTuber, some kind of social media person. But anyway, she's been accused of having sex with, I want to say 16, 14, 2 14-year-old boys 4 to 6 times in one day, molesting 2 14-year-old boys. She's barely in jail. She has no mugshot to speak of. And people are trying to downplay it because they're boys and she's a woman. So make no mistake about it, women do it too. But it's that quiet, loud part. It's that because they're not, a regular Joe, regular degular smegular, that they are allowed to do certain things. They shouldn't be, especially when it comes to our kids. Y'all gonna hate me. It was the same thing with Michael Jackson. Regardless of whether or not he did what they said he did, there were enough people, there were enough kids saying that he did something, and people were still taking their kids to him. Their legacy of music and entertainment is one thing, but that cannot overshadow what they're doing to people's children. And this is not just strangers or fans or that. This is family members. Every time you turn on, you look at something, you could pull up some. uh, Do I believe Bill Cosby did it? Yup. Was not one of them people going, no, no, don't pull Bill Cosby. I'm sure he did something because that's the culture we live in. That's the culture we live in. The same. It kills me. It's the same thing with just regular people, just regular men saying, "Oh, I can't wait till she turn 18." But why are you looking at her now? She 14.
So people were saying why R. Kelly, the people, the parents didn't get in trouble. Why they not into it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they're not in jail. I don't know why somebody is not holding them accountable for what they're doing. And but nobody ever does. Nobody ever does. When you get a celebrity, whoever that celebrity may or may not be, and you think that your child is talented and you think that your child has something special. So, and this person is using their celebrity status to help you with your child's specialness. A lot of times parents overlook that. Come on, now these are the. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about regular parents who will be like, "I'm gonna have to fuck you up." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to fuck you up. There are people. These are the same people. These are the very same people who would kill their kids so that they ain't got to work no more, so that they can be the manager, so that they can be the mom of this superstar, so they can be the mom of the next Beyonce or the next Michael Jackson or the next Chris Brown or the next Usher or the next whoever. We overlook the things that these people do because of their celebrity status, because of our need to be in the proximity of that celebrity status. But I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if Nick had a like Michael Jackson so much that I would have took him to Michael Jackson, knowing how I feel about the allegations that went up against Michael. He wouldn't have got to see R. Kelly.
So let me hit this button right here.
Mm.
All right. Uh-oh. Turn your volume down.
Go ahead.
So if Nick would have been picked out of kids to go to R. Kelly to boost his career, not knowing, like half of the other parents didn't know.
They did know. Mm-mm. I'm not
Like to sit up there
and
and
let
let
their
them.
parents get off the hook. They've been talking about R. Kelly messing with a kid since he married Aaliyah. They've been talking about R. Kelly messing with little kids since he married Aaliyah. Aaliyah was 15 years old. He was 23, 24. They have been talking about it since the beginning of his career. They didn't just start talking about R. Kelly.
But like I said, if you didn't
No,
know,
no, because I'm gonna tell you this: if Nick was talented enough to catch the eye of R. Kelly, then he's talented enough to catch the eye of somebody else. I may or may not trust a little bit more with my son to be alone in the studio, but he wouldn't have been alone in the studio with him. But I still wouldn't have did it because there would have been times when I couldn't have been there. My kid at an age where he can't take care of himself and he can't fend for himself is not going somewhere without me. That I don't trust the person that he is with. That is on any level. That's on any level.
that
That just is
just
not about sitting in the studio. If Nick is not able to take care of himself, defend himself, or articulate his thoughts, you're not gonna be sitting up there. No, no, no. Because people take advantage of that. I'm sorry. I would love to live in a world where everybody is just so upfront and everybody feels the same way about kids that I feel about kids, but that's not true. People get into situations where, excuse me, people get into situations where they can use their status to do what they want to do.
so let me say this. So if these people, oh, mute your mic for a minute. If these people, how you call it, drop their kids off to up their career and everything, and they don't know, how can you fault them?
How don't they know?
Hmm?
Okay, let me
Ask you a
ask you a
question.
question.
I don't even have to ask you a question.
Oh,
Even now at 17, you don't want Nick to go somewhere where you don't know where he at. You don't want Nick to go somewhere where you don't know where the parents, where you can't life 360 him or can't pull him up. And you still, even to this day, even with the parents that we know and Nick has been going to for the past 5, 6 years, you still want to know who gonna be there, right? So you're not gonna do that
see,
with somebody you don't know.
well, see, all right.
Being famous don't make you a good person. It just make you famous.
But you know what it is? Some parents they think they not thinking the famous part. I mean, they not thinking like that. They thinking more on the famous part. Like my kid gonna be something. So let me. Might be the doors opening for them to, you know, get ahead in life. You know what I'm saying? Something they never had. So sometimes your kid, you might have a kid that can sing, and and this is the way, you know, to success. They not thinking what if. So how do you figure? You know what I'm saying? How can you justify
Don't be
whether
so quick. You can't put your child's physical and mental well-being above, I mean, below everything else. Because let me ask you a question and think about it. And I want the chat and the people in the room to think about it. I'm gonna go back to Michael Jackson and I'm gonna tell you why. Because he had famous kids. He had famous kids that were going to his house. Not people that you not just regular kids, but he also had people in the limelight, people in the spotlight going to his house. Now I want you to look back at all the kids he had going to his house. There's something mentally, each one of them has issues that started from back when they was kids. All of them, drugs, alcohol, mental health issues, all of them. You don't think that came from not just only them being their parents' meal ticket, from being forced to be in the situations that they can't handle as kids? Adults have a hard time. See what people don't realize. We're talking about kids and not just toddlers, even 13, 14, 15, hell, 18, 20, 21. We're talking about young people who are not equipped to deal with the situations they get in because adults are not equipped to deal with those situations. You have adults that deal with that get into sexual situations that they don't want to be in, that they don't know how to deal with. Now you think your kids are going to be okay with that? You think your kids are not only going to fault the person that did it, but you for leaving them there? You don't do your due diligence. You don't go, well, hey, maybe I should do a little more checking out before I drop my baby off over at this house. Do you pay attention to the child that changes when they come back, or do you just chalk it up to that child? Oh, he's doing stuff and he's just adjusting to being famous. Or do you try to see why your baby is acting the way they acting?
You got to look at it from a lot of where these people. I don't know where these people background. Where they come from. Some people don't look. You know, pay attention to the things like I'm. Me. I'm 100 on it. I'm 100.
I would love for Nick to be famous. I would love for Nick. I would love for Nick to be able to buy me the house he talked about buying me when he be a football star.
But what I'm saying is, as far as these people that was going to our Shelly house, do you think the parents they wasn't equipped like we are? Like
they're equipped to not take their kids over there.
We don't know that.
You tell me that they had to take their kids over there?
No, they didn't have to. They wasn't thinking like that. They might have been thinking logically, like, my child will be famous. Let me get my kid, go out there and do your thing. They might. Some people don't think like we think. Everybody thinks differently. So
I get that, but with your kids,
if you got these people that live in Southeast and they trying to get out of Southeast DC,
still their fault.
It's still their fault, but they not thinking like that. They trying to.
That's still their fault.
They there for upcoming. You know what I'm saying?
That's still their fault. I don't care. It doesn't matter whether or not they think about it like that. That's still their fault. And realistically, now on the internet, just making old crazy video or doing a dance move or singing a song on the internet to go viral and then all of a sudden you're famous, okay. But realistically, how many of these things actually work out in your favor? How many famous people that weren't doing other stuff are famous because of something R. Kelly did other than write a song for him? I'm not talking about his actual real work, his songwriting, his producing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just taking your kid over there. How many people are famous from that? Hell, how many people are famous from anybody doing that? It's the same way with sports. You killing your baby to get a good education, maybe to go to college. But how many there are tens of thousands of professional grade football, basketball, baseball players out there who will never make it onto the NFL, NBA, or Major League Baseball because it's just not room for them. And then by the time there is room for them, somebody else coming up gonna take their place. Being famous, being athletic, being a star, being on TV, being a singer, all that stuff has a shelf life. And it has a limit to how many people are doing it. I'm sorry.
So let's go.
Most of them are scams anyway. Like when we took Dick to that thing, then they want us to pay to for him to go to a camp, to maybe get on a Disney show, to maybe be a extra in a Disney show. They want us to come out our pocket 2,400, 3,600. If you really want the good package to where he actually gonna talk to somebody, it's 3,600. People are always looking for the come up, and if you sit up there and let them, they will come up on your back and on the back of your kids. I don't, I mean,
So what you think? All right. So what do you think R. Kelly when he was up there in court? What you think that was going through his head?
nobody's gonna do anything. He thought he was gonna get away with it, like he been getting away with it. He thought that people were gonna look at him. And do you understand? There were people out there cheering and saying, "Let," and R didn't do anything, and they were saying, and what get me is, not just, they wouldn't even say he didn't do anything. They were saying shit like, "Well, the parents was taking the kids over there." What the fuck did that have to do with what he was doing to the little girls, to the kids? He thought like he did before. He thought like he got acquitted on that first child pornography. He thought he was going home. He thought nobody's going to put me in jail. None of the girls are going to testify against me. Nobody is going to talk about me because I'm R. Kelly. He thought the same. He had in his mind he was going to do like O.J. Simpson did. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. So
Basically, he thought he was going home.
he thought he was going home.
And then, I mean, I was, I mean, I did you see it when they
Nah,
said it?
I don't watch that stuff. Nah, I don't watch it because my thing is, it was only two outcomes. Either he was going to jail or he wasn't. There's nothing I can do about him not going to jail, and me being happy about him going to jail doesn't affect him either. So I don't watch stuff like that because, on the one hand, the judicial system is biased against people of color, especially black and brown. That's what fills the jail. On the other hand, it's some black and brown people that need to be in jail. So I don't watch court cases like that because
Supposedly,
he did it. He did it. He did it, and you can't change my mind.
what you
I
sound
think
like
he
OJ.
did it. OJ did it. Mike did it. R did it. Bill did it. They did it. The white folks did it. Epstein did it. That's why he killed. Well, actually, somebody probably killed him, but I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
So let me ask you this: when he said
Woody Allen did it. Messed with them little kids, and then his adopted daughter when she turned 21. They all did it.
so, let me ask you this then: what was that thing they were saying? He said he wanted to sue the jail.
He wanted to sue the jail because the jail put him on suicide watch, and he said that is cruel and unusual punishment. That is not what cruel and unusual punishment is. He's trying not to go to jail. He has enough money for right now to let his lawyers do whatever kind of crazy shit that he think they can do. He does. That's the beauty of lawyers. You tell a lawyer that you're gonna pay them, they will keep getting paid until they can't get paid no more. They put him on suicide watch, and he says that's punishment. Punishment will be putting you out there in the general population. They wouldn't punish you by putting you, segregating you. They helping you, because please understand and know, nobody in jail likes people that mess with kids, even famous people that mess with kids. Nobody. 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 He gonna be in there singing for his booty life. So it is what it is. So they wouldn't put him and segregate him to punish him.
I was about to ask you what, like, where would they put him? You know,
Well, I mean, if people who are in jail for sexually based crimes, they do have areas in the jail. But he's going to a federal penitentiary, which is different than a lot of the privately run state and county run facilities. It's um it's just different. So I don't they have areas for everybody. Um you going to jail, bro. You're going to jail, bro, and you just gonna have to go. You shouldn't have been messing with them little girls. You shouldn't have been messing with them kids. It is enough. It is enough adult women in the world that you don't never have to put your hand on a baby. It is enough. It is enough free willing out there. It is enough. And if you actually pay attention, I don't understand the thing. I don't know. Okay,
But that go back to like we was talking about one of our real talks.
mm-hmm,
One of our real talks was about how rapists and all them pedophiles and all them,
mm-hmm.
they go for the kids, and he probably was going for the younger kids so he can manipulate them, and he had a better chance of you know controlling them versus an adult. You know what I'm saying?
And you're correct. But now think about all the
Not
shows we
thinking,
watch.
if I'm saying not thinking, he probably wasn't even thinking he would get caught because he's famous and he got the money to not. Well, it took these many. How long he been doing that? Since
His
how
first
many?
trial was in 2008.
Yeah, but I'm saying, how old are these people now?
They're adults now.
Right. And they were kids back then.
You remember the one where they were talking about where they had the video of him peeing on the little girl and all that stuff? That was the first case of child pornography because of the video that was taken. And that's the one that he got acquitted of. She was 14 at the time. By the time the case came to trial, she was 21. And they meant to do it that way. Because if they'd have brought the case to trial when she was still underage, he'd have never walked out of there. But when a 21-year-old woman was testifying, it was different. And I understand that it's about control. I get that. But the reality is that there are grown women that you look at the shows we watch. Think of all the shows we watch. Them is for the most part grown ass women on there letting men with no jobs, no money, no neck sometimes, trick them out of their life. So you don't have to have a child to be if you just want to control somebody. I, the killing part is that, and then nobody pays attention. And we're talking about R. Kelly, but nobody's paying attention to the victims, to the girls, to these girls that were just locked in the rooms and just sitting there waiting for R. Kelly to come and pick out which one he gonna do today. It wasn't living. It wasn't like he was R. Kelly's girlfriend. He married Aaliyah and then had to hide it because she was 15 and he was a grown ass man. You know this is something that you should not be doing. You know this is something that is inappropriate, but you do it anyway. The last hey y'all we talked about the Roe versus Wade, the abortion thing, but it comes home on this. There was a little girl in some state that automatically banned abortion when they overturned Roe versus Wade. She was 10 years old. She was molested and came up pregnant. She had to go to another state to get a procedure done so that she wouldn't have to carry her rapist baby. So imagine how many women that he had to go get that done to. Not women, but young women. 15, 16, 14, 17. And you think that because they're older that it's not as bad. But it is as bad. A 30-year-old woman and my 17-year-old son, that's just you asking to die. It's as bad. What kind of conversation? The only thing you want with a child is sex. What kind of conversation is a grown man having with a 14, 15-year-old girl? What kind of conversation is a 34, 35-year-old woman having with a 14-year-old boy? What kind of dates are y'all going out on?
But see, they wasn't going on. They
Right. It's all about sex and it's all about having it, and that's the worst part about it. It's not like you're having a relationship with this child, which is bad enough. This entire relationship is sexual. It is about one person gaining sexual gratification of the misery of another person. Because number one, they think they have to do it. The first thing we tell kids, the first thing we teach children, our children, everybody else's, is respect your elders. Respect adults. When adults tell you to do something, you do what they tell you to do. Don't back talk. Don't do this. Don't do that. That's the first thing we say. First thing we teach our kids. I watch Steve and all that crazy shit, all of it. And all I hear is mother after parent ignoring a child when they tell them that something happened. So and so touched me. We keep talking about R. Kelly, but it's not just R. He just happened to be in the news. He got them 30 years and they need to ride him out. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. You shouldn't have been messing with 4 kids. You shouldn't have been messing with them little girls. And from what I understand, I didn't even know. From what I understand, this little boys too. You should not have been messing with them children. There is kids have such a short period of time to be children. And now they gotta contend with adults who use and abuse them. And not only that, this was somebody who was famous, somebody who was supposed to be above all that. You know what I mean? But it's not. It's not. My mom dropped me off with, and it's supposed to be amazing. R. Kelly's going to write a song for me, or I'm gonna sing in his studio. Yay. And then you get to the studio and this grown ass man who is your idol, who you are starstruck by, is rubbing on your back and touching your leg and telling you it's okay. It's just a part of the process. I got to get that emotion out of you, that soul when you sing the song. So they think it's okay. It's a slow, insidious process when adults mess with kids. It's a slow thing. They try to make it so that it's your idea, that you're the most beautiful woman in the world. Can you imagine telling a 13 or 14-year-old girl that she's the most beautiful woman in the world? When you're 13 and 14 years old, that's all you want to hear is how grown you are and how pretty you are and how grown up you look. And they know that. I can't imagine that. And I've had to imagine that. Because like I've said before, I grew up, I filled out quick. Filled out quick. I had baby fat on my seventh grade year. When I came back for my eighth grade year, I was fine. Boobs and booty and no waist. And I looked like I was older, but I was 12. I was 11. I was 12. Adults know how to navigate. I heard adults barely know how to navigate the dating scene. If you have somebody, male and female, who knows how to work the system, who makes you feel like you're the most beautiful, the most handsome, the sexiest person, when they want something from you, they don't want you, they want something from you. Now imagine doing that to a child and making them make it seem like it's their idea. It's something they did. They invited them. Do you have any idea how many of these predators make these children feel like it was something they did? The reason that I'm touching you, the reason I'm doing this to you is because of how you look, how you dress, the clothes you had on. And society teaches, especially little girls, that it's their fault. How many times have you heard a mother, a grandmother, a auntie, or somebody tell their little girl to go put some more clothes on with these men in the house? Why you got that little shorts on? Because it's hot. Shit.
Miss Tell the Truth said, what the heck was wrong with those mothers dropping their young daughters off to him or any man? Jazz and Jack said they should have gave R. Kelly life. Now he will expose all other celebrities who part in, I can't see that,
Who took part?
took part in the horrific crime.
No, he won't say nothing because they still gonna take care of him on the outside. The white Epstein who died, he didn't say nothing. The Maxwell chick who just got 20 years, she ain't gonna say nothing. Because at the end of the day, these people are worried about ending up like Epstein. So no, they won't say nothing. This particular thing has went on since there have been people, and we're talking about men right now because we're talking about R. Kelly, but the reality is people, men and women, prey on children since the beginning of time because somebody allows it, because somebody said, well, this person acts this way with me, I'm sure they wouldn't do this, I'm sure that they'd be good to my kid. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. and and little girls especially, they teach little boys that a girl wanted to do something to them. The first thing, because even Nick told me when he went to kindergarten, he said he had 12 girlfriends. I said that's a lot. When he came back his first week of school, he said he got 12 girlfriends. I felt like that was a lot, but and it was a joke, ha ha ha, funny. But if my daughter had a came home and said she had 12 boyfriends, everybody would have been like, well, what's she doing? Why she nasty? What she know about boyfriends? It's that difference. That's why people don't look at little boys being affected the same way little girls are affected, but it does affect them. I want you to listen to your cousins and your uncles and your nephews when they get to talking about when they're older and they start talking about their first sexual experiences, and wonder how many of them were 12 and it was a 18, 19, 20-year-old girl who had sex with them the first time, because that's okay, because they've been raised to think that boys will be boys and that it doesn't affect them in the same way it affects little girls. But it's never little boy's fault, and it's always a little girl's fault because she was fast, because she was out there had little shorts on, and she should have had a turtleneck and a long sleeve shirt, some long johns, a jacket, and two pair of pants on in Alabama in July. Sexualizing children, making that a normal thing to do, gives child predators the balls to do the shit they do. Because you're going to sexualize little girls first and foremost. The first thing you say, she too fast, her clothes too little. This is not looking at, instead of looking at her like a child. When I see a child, I see a child. I don't see a potential adult. I don't see somebody who is sexual. I don't see somebody who got good sense. Shit. I see a kid who's going to make mistakes, who's going to mess up, who's going to fall, who's going to scrape their knee, who's going to get in a stupid fight about nothing. I don't see an adult. I don't see an adult when they 21. Shit. Now they may be legal, but hell, they still can't drive a car without having somebody else get their insurance because their insurance too high. I am 55 years old. What the hell I look like dating a 25-year-old? A hell, a 30-year-old. I'm old enough to be your mammy.
Jazz and Jack said, and the parents should go to prison as well.
As they should. As they should. They should be held accountable. They should be brought into the spotlight so that other parents will look at them and go, maybe I shouldn't do this. But they don't. Nobody does that. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't prosecute the parents, because the first thing a parent will say is, I didn't know. I didn't know that's what he was doing. I didn't know that was the kind of person he was. I'm sure you heard it. This is not, let me take, all right, I got a question for the chat. And you don't have to be specific, but in the chat, y'all put y'all ones up. If y'all got a cousin or an uncle or hell a family friend, you know can't be around the kids. Everybody put a one in the chat who has that person in their inventory of people that they know. I do.
And then if you watching the replay down in the comments down below, you can say yay or nay.
Just put a one.
Or put a one, or you want to say just tell the truth.
Just put a one up there. So
Just Kristen.
the reality is,
Just Kristen said, I agree, Lisa. I would never date a guy in his 20s, 30s, and now in his 40s because I'm in my 50s.
and that's what you, I mean, my thing is this: when you're dating somebody, when I started dating DC, we had common ground. We had a common time of music, food, experiences, things we could discuss and talk about. I would have a hard time talking to somebody who is 10 years younger than me, because things have changed so much. We don't have similar experiences to go off of. I can't say a movie line and that person know the movie I'm talking about. I can't start singing the song and that person finish the song. And when you're dating and talking about being sexual with somebody, there has to be some kind of reciprocal thing going on. I got time, you got time, we got this time together. You can't do that when the person you're dating is 10, 20, 30 years younger than you are. And there's no way that a grown ass person, male or female, should be dating anybody under the age of 21, because what the hell are you talking to them about? What in the good gravy is a 40? I use this example because Nick getting ready to go to be a senior, and he's going to have senior prom. And this was before Nick even got in high school. There was a case of a 44-year-old woman whose boyfriend was a senior in high school. And everybody was like, oh, he getting it and he the shit, he the man. What the hell is a 44-year-old woman talking about with a 19-year-old boy? Now there may be a sexual thing going on because he got that swing and he can ride as long as she want or whatever. But what the hell are they talking about? What are they doing? They can't go on a date. They can't go on a wine tasting tour. He get carded. They can't go to the same club because his clubs won't even let people in under the age of 21. So what kind of active relationship are these two adults, quote unquote, having? None. None. You can sit up there and say age ain't nothing but a number. That song that R. Kelly wrote for Aaliyah, by the way. Age ain't nothing but a number. Getting down ain't nothing but a thing.
Miss Tell the Truth said, I have 3 teenage girls under my care, and I will do whatever I need to do to protect them. Jackson, Jazz and Jackson said, I will be smiling on my mugshot if someone in my family is assaulted.
Chilling, just smiling, cheesing, all the teeth. Yeah. High fiving the police when they arrest me. I got him. You ain't got to worry about it. Ma'am, you know you can, you know, you don't have to talk. That's okay. That's all right. Give me a little vacation. Appreciate it. And we make these jokes and it's just sad. It's just sad. It's sad that
Wait a minute, let me ask you a question. Does he have kids? I don't know.
he has adult kids now. Yeah.
No, I mean, how many he had?
two or three, I think.
So if he had
He has a transgendered son and he has a daughter, I think. I don't know. I know he has a transgender son.
because I'm thinking like this. When people have kids, why are you doing things to people kids you wouldn't have done to your kids?
But that's not that's not necessarily true. He has three. Ja, who is transgender, Ja Kelly, Joanne Kelly, and Robert Kelly, all between 1998 and 2002. He has three kids. Yep.
I mean, it's sad because it's like I said, he has kids, but he's doing stuff to other people's kids.
Well, most, not sadly to say, sad to say, is most child predators have a family. Most of them are not sitting. I mean, you watch TV and see the little shows and stuff that we watch, but the reality is most of them are somebody's stepdad or somebody's father or somebody's stepmom or somebody's mother. A lot of the girls, a lot of the women who molest young boys and girls, but mostly boys, um, that little boy was 12 and she was married with kids. Almost what was her name? Mary Kay Letourneau. She was a teacher. She was his teacher. She was 12 when she started messing with him. She was 14 when he got her pregnant the first time. She was a teacher. Not too long after that, another teacher was sending nudes and sexy boudoir shots to a little boy in the sixth grade or eighth grade, one of them grades. There was another teacher who was having sex with the boys in high school in the school. It when women do it, we don't talk about it like when men molest little girls, and I don't understand why. It's the exact same thing.
You gotta think that if you got kids, I get it. I can't. Oh, let me read. Let me just get out of that part. Just Kristen said, I have a good friend who dated a guy in his 20s. She messed that young lady. She messed that young boy up because she was into all kinds of things, drinking, drugs, all kinds of things. That boy is messed up to this day.
Yes, a lot of older people will date younger people like they can raise them into being the spouse or the person that they want to date. They have this fantastical image of the person that they want to be in their life. So they figure if they get somebody young, I can raise it up. I can make it the way I want to make it. Stop messing up kids. Life is hard enough. Strangers hold enough threat for you not to be bringing your kids into these situations.
Just Kristen said, I said the same thing. You see, he got kids. Yeah, she said the same thing that I said. Miss Tell the Truth said, I wonder did he father his own children?
Well, I know that his transgender son don't really want to have nothing to do with him. I don't really know about the other two, but I know there was a big issue around that. And think about it, I ain't trying to be funny, y'all. And I understand a celebrity's right to want to keep their private life private. But his kids were damn near grown before we realized R. Kelly was talking all this nasty, sexy shit and had a wife. All that you remind me of my Jeep, or want to hear that bang bang, or all the songs he was singing. He was married with a wife and kids. Yes, all them little girls he was messing with. He was married when he started. Let me see when they got divorced. I don't know. He was married. Uh, Keep talking. Keep reading stuff.
Yeah, yes, he was. That's what was telling the truth. I mean, I don't get. I just don't understand.
They were married from 1996 to 2009. He married her a year after him and Aaliyah got divorced. He was married to Aaliyah from 1994 to 1995. Now let me see when Aaliyah was born.
It's crazy.
Aaliyah was born in 1979. So how old was she? She was 15 years old. She was married to R. Kelly. So yeah, care not what you say. Just because I was guilty myself, I was in his music and feeling myself. So I guess I was not thinking. Oh, her, she need to clear her throat a little bit. I mean, none of the kids have ever came up and said anything about him doing anything. So I'm not gonna say he did, but you can. Let me tell you something, just Krista. You can like his music. His music was it. Him being an artist, him being a pervert, doesn't negate his talent. Is just it puts another. It shows some of his songs in another light. It shows some of his music in a different perspective. You can see why his music was so very sexual, and a lot of it, if you pay attention to it, a lot of it was on a fetish side. In the closet, Mr. Big, a lot of it, it just was. And he wrote what sells. He sang what sells. He just did. Come on. So he wrote and did what sells. And it gave him the platform to have any girls he wanted. And people were just willingly bringing them to him under the guise of R. Kelly can make you famous. He made a lot of people famous, but not for the reasons that they went to him for. I hope that I would love for us to live in a world we didn't have to worry about this shit, to where our kids just had normal stuff to deal with, but we don't. We live in a world where people see our children as sex objects, to where people look at little girls and little boys as they would look at an adult man or woman. Society tells us that boys will be boys, but it's little girls' fault that little boys want to touch them. Society will tell us that to be a man you have to have as many girls as possible, and it's okay. But to be a proper lady, you have to have a low body count, or nobody will want you. You have to cover yourself up completely, or you're being promiscuous. You're making people do the things they do to you. We've talked about this before in all things. We've talked about sexual assault just normally, how people don't report it. Girls don't report sexual assault. They don't report getting molested. They don't report incest because they're scared, because they've been told that it's their fault. They're scared because their mother's boyfriend comes in the bathroom when they're taking a shower. And they're scared if they tell their mama, she won't believe them. And a lot of times when they do tell, they don't get believed. Little boys think they're doing something because they're got this 18, 19-year-old girl trying to have sex with them. But that shouldn't be the way. R. Kelly got away with what he got away with because he was famous, because he had money, and because he made a network of people who were okay with what he was doing. No amount of money can make that okay for me. Now, I'm sure there's some things that money can make me do, but messing with kids ain't one of them. I'm not gonna mess with none, and I'm not gonna let you mess with none. Everybody has a breaking point. Everybody has a no a deal breaker, and that includes with money. My kids are my deal breaker. Children in general are my deal breaker. And but there are millions of people out there where that's not the case. There are people out, he surrounded himself with a crew of people that were okay or willfully blind to what he was doing, that were okay with seeing those little young girls going in and out of his room, that were okay with seeing those women being farmed in the houses that he kept, that were okay to go get young girls for him. Yeah. Nah, hold on. I had a friend named Val back when we were 14. She was messing with two grown men in our neighborhood, and we used to get on her about it. She said she didn't care, and to this day, she is unable to carry a baby. Yeah, are you reading this? I was 19-year-old dating a high school teacher. She was 45. I did not understand at the time. Yes, as your mother should. Let me tell you something, baby. At 19, you don't know anything. My son is 17, and I promise you in 2 years, he's not going to know much more than he know right now. He's not going to know enough to date a 45-year-old woman. And neither did you. But it sounded good in theory. I'm the man. I got this late. I don't just have a woman, I got a woman. But why? Now you may have been the cutest little thing working. You may have been just a sexy little 19-year-old thing, just glistening muscles, and you know what I'm saying? It just might have been fabulous. But there still was nothing you could do for a 45-year-old woman. Y'all couldn't go to the club together. Y'all didn't listen to the same music. Y'all didn't have shit to talk about. What kind of job did you have that you was taking out and treating her like a 45-year-old woman? You might have had one. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, Jay. Let me see. Hold on. On my jobs now, guys come in and think I'm young, and I tell them all the time, "No, sir, young man. I do not date young guys." And they be like, "I like older women." I tell them, "Not this one." Like I said, now I don't know Jazz and Jack. Oh, hold on. Let me look at that. Y'all know. Jazz and Jax. I don't know which male, female. I don't know which one. So when I say woman, I'm just using that as a general. Flip it around the other way. However your situation was, what could you do for a 45-year-old teacher? Not yet. Not nothing. Men want young women so that they'll look like they're doing something. I'm 40. I'm 45, and I can get a little 19-year-old. They want me. No, they want something from you. I don't think. Now, I'm not 100% certain. So I try not to work in certainties because you never know. But I'm not 100% certain. But I'm almost certain that no 19-year-old girl gets up in the morning and puts on her 19-year-oldness and goes out thinking, you know what? I really want an old man. I'm opening some watermelon if y'all want one popping. I don't think so. Now, girls love to say, I like to date older men, da da da. No, no, you know. Oh man, and an old woman is gonna treat you like a kid. Gonna talk to you like you one of their kids. Only thing different, the only thing different is you're not, and you having sex with them. That's it. I think if you mess with kids, you should get punished. I just do. I think if you mess with kids, the punishment should be swift and it should be for a long time. Because the reality is that most people don't stop. They may know that it's against the law. They may understand that they could go to jail, but thoughts and the feelings are still there. The desire, that's the word I was looking for because I was stuck. I couldn't figure I was looking for a word. The desire is still there. Now, they may not do it, or they may not have access to them, but it doesn't go away. And these kids live with that forever. Little girls who have 14, 12, 13, 11, 10, 11. Till then, there are far reaching effects. There are long term, sometimes lifelong effects. Being molested by a family member, being taken advantage of by a family friend, being touched by a parent's spouse or a parent's significant other. It's not the creeper out in the street. Now, you got to worry about them, make no mistake. But it's not just the creepers out in the street, it's the family members, it's the friends, it's the stepmamas, stepdaddies, it's the pastors and the choir directors, it's the teachers and the coaches. It is the people that you leave your children in, that you leave your children alone with. It is the people, it is the celebrities that you choose to expose your children to. You are your baby's first line of defense. For some kids, you are all they have looking out for them. And nothing should be more important than looking out for them. I would love, like I said, I would love for Nick to be a football prodigy, be the next Michael Jordan, be able to sing like Luther, be the next Denzel. But if he the next Nicholas, I'm cool with that too. I want him to be as fulfilled and happy as he can be. I'm glad R. Kelly got them 30 years. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking, trying to read what he was saying. Uh, my mom used to scare me. She told us they give you, yes, my grandma told me they give you worms. I still think that. Now that I'm older, I know that the truth is they just want to. No, I still think they give you worms. I still think old man give you worms. And I'm an old lady. It is what it is. You know, that's how I was brought up. That is what my grandma would say. Old man give you worms. I don't know why. I don't know why old man would have worms. I feel like they worms be dead. You know? But now I think about it. Back in the day, I was like, shit, I don't want no worms. Maybe the older generation knows something I don't know. But hey, we gonna have bingo in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, y'all. So I'm gonna get on off here. I I just want to have a little real talk because yeah, it's not the stranger in the white van. It's not them. It is them. It's not just them. Let me say that. It's not just them. It's the same person that made you feel a little creepy when you were young. These same people are still alive. Make sure that you pay attention. Make sure that if somebody tell you that this person may or may not have touched a child at some point, be okay with saying no. I keep my baby to myself. Nothing is more important than the legacy you give your children of stop. Nothing is more important than being your child's safe space in a storm. Nothing more important than that. I could have got 30 years. He deserved the rest of his life because he's been doing this for years and he messed up a lot of little girls. But 30 years, I take 30 years. I mean, I don't matter to me. I'm just happy he got, you know, some of what he deserved. And I don't know the punishment. I mean, does it work? Probably not. Probably not. Think about all the people you know that have been in and out of jail. And I mean, they really did the crimes. I'm not talking about people who were wrongly convicted or wrongly accused. I'm talking about folks you know did it. They go into jail, fix them. Did it stop them from wanting to do the shit that got them put in jail? Or have they been in jail 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times? The only thing I'm glad of is that he can no longer do it to anybody else's kids. But guess what? There are other R. Kellys out there. He wasn't alone by himself when he did it. He wasn't the only predator out there getting by because he was famous, because people didn't want to believe that their idol, their icon, their the person they look up to could have that. And I'm not just talking about on a celebrity level. I'm talking about you see it, you feel it, but you don't want to believe it. So you hope that if you ignore it, it goes away. If somebody give you a creepy feeling, that's all the reason you need to keep your kids away from them. That's all the reason you need to stay away from them. You ain't got to explain shit to nobody. You ain't got to sit up there and tell why you don't want your kids to go here because a goddamn said they can't. You don't have to explain why you don't want to hang around with this person or go over to this person's house because I don't want to. You ain't got to explain shit to nobody. All you need is your spidey sense tingling about this person. And if this person is bothering you, that's all you need. We feel like we got to explain something to somebody. Ain't got to explain shit to nobody. I don't like them. So we're not going over there. Well, Ma, what? You better get somewhere and sit down for your ass be upstairs looking at a wall trying to figure out what you're going to do for TV. Get out my damn face. I told you you can't go. You don't have to explain to the parents. You don't have to explain to the person. Well, what happened? Why can't Nick come? Because I said so. Because the day end in a why. Bitch, I don't need no reason. You don't have to explain to your relatives why your kids can't spend the night because I said so. Well, that's my little cousin, and that's my child. You ain't got to explain to your mom and then why you don't act right around so and so because they nasty and I don't want to around my kid. If you want to give them an explanation, say that. But other than that, you ain't got to add no explanation because I said so. Where you going home? Where you gonna make it bad for everybody? Well, that sound like a personal bro. You ain't got to explain nothing to nobody. The most important thing in the world is your peace, your well-being, and that of your children, and that of your family. Everybody ain't for you, including those that got the same DNA. So we're talking about R. Kelly because he is a famous, because he is a public figure. But the reality is, and the more insidious problem is the fact that you have mothers and fathers and granddaddies, grandmamas looking the other way. You got grandmamas. You got sisters and brothers and uncles and aunts. And it's not just about the people that you see on TV and then you go, oh, I'm glad they got R. Kelly. But you need to start being okay when they get Uncle Roger and Aunt Susie. When somebody finally snitch on Granddaddy Lou. When somebody finally make Grandmama May understand that we see you ignoring what he doing. And the people that ignore them are just as bad, if not worse, because they didn't have to let the child or the person be in their space. I don't know who's worse. I know physically the person that touches you, but can you imagine? Can you imagine putting your trust in somebody and that person turning you over to somebody who hurts you, who makes you question yourself and your self-worth? Imagine that person messing up trust in everybody for the rest of their life. So I don't know who's worse. My mama never went for that overnight stuff. Sure did.
He sleep overnight.
Thank you, Krista.
Sleep overnight.
Yeah, he said that the suicide watch. That's what somebody said, he was suing the jail because they put him on suicide watch. Well, he was doing. I mean, maybe he was exhibiting signs. So I don't know, but he can't sue for that, so he'll be all right. I mean, he can sue for it, but they ain't gonna make him sit down. They just take him off of suicide watch. Everybody put that. Oh, I'm trying to put it on. It won't go back on and stop.
Subject.
So yeah. So I'm gonna get off here, y'all. I don't know how long I'm in. How long I'm in on here? I had to put my glass on. All right, y'all. It's been over a little over an hour. So we're gonna take a little break because bingo will come on at about 8:30. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I think we come on a little bit early. We might come on a little bit later because people start coming in about 8:39, and you be sitting up on the thing. All right, y'all. So we'll be back for bingo around 8 o'clock. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming and hanging out with me and chatting. I want to thank all the newcomers. It's the first time I ever talked to you. Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hold on, because I didn't even look. Because see, I had to start not looking because if I look, then I don't be.
Oh, crap.
I get off topic. Miss Fabulosity. All right, y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Tells the Truth. I will. I will. So y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video go live, you guys can join us in the replay. Y'all put them ones down in the comments. Everybody who, like I said, it ain't always about somebody famous. Sometimes it's about somebody that's in the house with you. Y'all pay attention. Stop making little girls feel bad about themselves because they're overdeveloped or because they're developing normally. Stop letting little boys think it's okay to do nasty stuff because they're a little boy. And if you don't like what some, if somebody give you a funny feeling, get your spidey sense of tingling. Or if you just don't like the way the way the air moves around them, it don't matter. You ain't gotta have no reason for not taking your kids around anybody. Don't. And you ain't gotta explain it to anybody. Don't. This your girl Lisa. This is real talk. R. Kelly got 30 years. Y'all know how it's about to go down.
Yeah, I watched them TikTok videos. I think I'm gonna do some reactions to them.
I don't know. It's a different TikTok video.
Yeah, on R. Kelly. And once people posting.
My mind is telling me no, but my booty about to tell me yes. That's you get. Now somebody, now he gonna be somebody, little boy. Come here, R. Your booty remind me of a Jeep. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm about to go, y'all. This is real talk. This is another one in the books. This your girl Lisa. I'm about to go, y'all.
I know she ain't right.
Bye, y'all.
Talk to y'all later. See y'all later. Peace out.